Hey everybody, it's Kevin Triforce, and this is my review of True Grit, the 2010 remake, of course. And I will also be discussing the different differences between the 1969 True Grit and the 2010 True Grit, because I've seen both. I saw the original first, actually, believe it or not. It was actually on TV, so I got to see John Wayne as Rooster, and then Jeff Bridges, so I'll tell you who I think was the better one out of the two. Anyway, both were very good movies. They were very good, both of them. It's hard to say which one's better because they're pretty equal. I heard that the newer one is closer to the book, though, actually, and I'm going to explain some differences and a lot of stuff. First, I'll start with the plot summary. Basically, what's going on is there's this 14-year-old girl named Maddie, and basically what is going on is her dad was killed by this guy. I think his name was Tom Cheney or something like that. You know what I'm talking about anyway, if you've seen the movie. And basically she's looking for somebody to help get him hanged or to kill him, you know. And she's looking for somebody with true grit. Now, it was interesting. Interesting plot. Now, that's pretty much the basis of the story, and I'll start with the original. You know, they made this other guy called LaBeef, and he's pretty much a Texas Ranger, because Rooster is the sheriff. Not a sheriff, darn it, he's a, what is he called? Sorry, he's not a sheriff, he's a, marshal, that's right. He's a marshal, and, he's good at this type of thing, and he supposedly has true grit, but he's like a drunk guy, you know. And, LaBeef is after the same guy. He killed, like, some judge in Texas, and he's trying to get him hanged there, but Maddie wants him hanged at the town she's at in the beginning of the movie. Sorry, I forgot the name. Anyway, a little conflict, then it ends up, I should explain a little more, though. Anyway, I believe she went to the town because to get, like, her father's stuff and all that. And then she wants to kill Tom Cheney or whatever, because she learns a little more about it. And give me a second to think about a little more, just recalling details. She pretty much she's trying to get her dad's horses back, or money, or the one that got stolen by Tom Cheney back. Because basically what happened with that was he was helping Tom Cheney out or something. I think the dude got drunk, and the other guy was trying to help him out, and he shot him. Yeah. And then he ran off. So she wants revenge on him for what he did to her dad. And then she comes to the town to, like, arrange everything with her father's burial and stuff. Then she tries to get the horses thing sorted out, and she gets $300 after bargaining with the guy. He gets tired of her. It's pretty funny. There were actually there's some comedy. It was interesting. Well, in the newer one. Same with the original, anyway. And then she goes to the courthouse or whatever to see a case being done on Rooster. His real name is Ruben, but Rooster. And then she uses some of her $300 to try to get him to hunt down Tom Cheney. And then she meets LaBeef, and he wants to work with her, but she doesn't want to work with him. You know, it's a little funny scene there. Then before that, though, she went to Rooster's house, and in the original, it was a little funny scene where he shot a rat. Like, he introduces, because she wants to know his family, so he introduces the like Asian seller he lives with. Like, he lives in an Asian guy's shop. It's weird, but it's kind of funny. It's probably one of the most memorable scenes. One of the random scenes is probably the most memorable for me because it's just funny. It's just random. Well, technically it's not totally random, but they don't discuss it as much in the remake. Like in the original, he shot a rat. In the new one, they don't show that. Like, he didn't shoot a rat, I guess, in the new one. Then, oh, I forgot to mention one thing. In the original movie, Maddie didn't narrate, but in the book she did, and in the new one, she was the older Maddie was the narrator. And then after all that, she meets LaBeef. She doesn't agree with him on certain things. He just talks about how he's a Texas Ranger and a judge or something got shot in a court case by Tom Cheney, which I've said like 1,000 times, I think. Actually, that I've said probably twice, anyway. And they're both working for the same person, so he offers to help her, but she declines because she wants it done her way. She doesn't want him hanging in Texas. She wants him hanging in the town they're in now or whatever, to pay for the crime against her dad, not the court judge or whatever, senator, judge, whatever. And then the next day she goes in Rooster's house and he's making an agreement with LaBeef, and she's pissed off, and they end up having to work together later on. Because actually, let me explain a little more. They decide to meet later on. He doesn't think it's safe. Beef doesn't think it's safe for her to go with them, but obviously she wants to go with them, and she does. Technically, they ditch her first. Like, they don't tell her they already left, so she has to find them, which she does. And they already take the boat across. She escapes from the guy that they have holding her captive, because LaBeef lies and says that she is a kid that escaped, and she goes across the lake with the horse she bought from the other guy that was part of her $300, you know. And they continue on. They find this shack where there's these two guys. They end up killing both of them, and the two guys end up dying because one of them confessed that two of the guys they're looking for, like this guy Ned's connected to Tom Cheney, and we're gonna meet at the shack, and the other guy's friend killed him because what happened was his Rooster shot the other guy in the leg, and he was trying to convince him to speak so that way his leg would get fixed instead of getting amputated, and the other guy kills him because he thinks he's revealing too much, and then Rooster shoots the other guy that was killing the other guy. Sorry if it sounds confusing. And then they wait on a cliff top that's above the shack for Ned and stuff, and Ned and his group, and they try to kill his group, and LaBeef kills Ned's horse but not Ned, and Rooster makes fun of him for it, which is not in the remake, which I was kind of disappointed because that was a really funny scene. But I can't blame them, honestly, for doing that. It's to be expected, kind of. Then later on, if I remember correctly, after the shack incident, after they've escaped, Ned's group escaped, they get the bodies transported of the cowboys that were killed, or the bad guys that were killed, and they have them taken back to one of the other towns. That I guess it's a hospital or something that for the dead people or something. I don't know. It's just a town for that stuff where they take the dead bodies. Then they just continue traveling to find Tom Cheney and Ned. It's like Ned's like somebody that works with him, and we've explained this. They're like working together, and then later on, Maddie, like one morning, Maddie goes down to this river or lake to get water, and she sees Tom Cheney, and she's like, "Holy crap, there he is!" She's in general term, just explain what was going through her mind. So she's got her father's gun after they retrieved it from his dead body, I guess. I'm not exactly sure with what was on him after he got shot. And anyway, she uses that. She shoots Tom. What was his name? Chetty? I don't remember his name. Well, Tom. Let's call him Tom. Yeah, and it wounds him, but he captures her and gives her to Ned, I think. And they have this weird like one of these weird guys on their group that just talks like a bird the whole time. It's funny. Just weird. So like we wonder what happened to the guy. And another big thing I forgot to mention is that in the book, Rooster didn't have the eye patch. He did have one eye, but no eye patch. And I was like, when I read that, I was like, huh, interesting. And basically, Ned threatens to kill Maddie if Rooster and LaBeef don't leave, continue going on their way. And they have 5 minutes to get out of the area they're at, so they do escape, and they use their gun obviously to shoot for the signal, and then Ned leaves Maddie with now, I remember his name, Tom Cheney or whatever, I believe, and they're stuck together, and Tom tries to kill her, kill her, whatever, but she fights back. Actually, LaBeef helps her out. They knock him out. And then they go, and he tells her that him and Brewster were planning to free her after they supposedly left. And then, give me a sec. Then you see Rooster take out Ned and his group. Ned's group, and then when he's about to take out Ned kills his horse, and his horse lands on Rooster's leg, and LaBeef shoots Ned. And he couldn't shoot them before because they're on him and Maddie are on a high cliff side, and it's hard to hit from I think he said 40 miles away because of how fast they were going, and just because pretty much they were far away. And then, give me a sec, fixing my mic. There we go. And then, Tom Cheney or whatever appears out of nowhere, whatever his name is, say Tom. Tom appears out of nowhere and knocks LaBeef out with a rock. And, Maddie ends up shooting and kills him. She ends up in a not rattlesnake, which is a snake hole. Yeah, rattlesnake hole. Sorry about that. Correcting myself, rattlesnake hole. And she had broken her arm when she fell down the hole, and she's calling for help, and LaBeef's obviously passed out. And she gets bit by a snake and calls for Rooster to help because she sees Rooster, and he throws a rope down. I think he gives it to. Wait, no, he pulls the rope. He throws the rope down. He tied it to a rock, I think. Shoots the snake and then tries to help her get out. And I think they have trouble getting out in the original, and LaBeef helps them out. And then after that, in the original, LaBeef actually died. But in the new one, and how the book does it, LaBeef actually survives getting hit in the head with a rock, because that's what Tom did to him to knock him out, and it would have been painful, to be honest. I forgot to mention the remake at the shack. That, give me a sec, got it. Drink my water. LaBeef leaves the group more in the remake, and he isn't with them at the shack, but he shows up at the shack, and the bad guys spot him, and Rooster accidentally shoots LaBeef. Yeah, I was like, wow. And in the remake, they make fun of his aim later on, like a little bit after. Anyway, let's continue on with the plot. And, there we go, I'm fixing my voice, there we go. And, basically what happens next is Maddie and Rooster leave on her. Was it her black or gray horse? Whatever, her horse. And Rooster makes the horse keep going for like a whole day, and it makes it exhausted, and it just dies in the original, but in the new one he shoots it because it was dying because of the same reason, because it got exhausted. But in the original it just died. In the remake he shot him, which I thought was made him look crueler, definitely. But you know, he has True Grit, so obviously, which I believe is Guts. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's Guts. Anyway, it's besides the point. Because the reason he's using the horse so fast is because he's trying to save Maddie, because she got, you know, bit by the rattlesnake that has venom in it. So her hand had venom in it, and they get her to the house where a doctor is or something like that. And in the original, they show after when she's still little, and her arm is fine. But in the new one, they amputated one of her arms. I was like, huh, that's interesting. Makes you wonder which version is correct. In the old one, it just ends with Rooster and her still at 14 or whatever age. In the original, she is at her father's grave and saying that she tells Rooster that she wants him buried in her family plot of land with her family's graves. I think next to her, actually. And he mentions, he was like, shouldn't your husband be next to you? But she said, I don't think she says she's gonna get married. But anyway, in the remake, it's a little bit different. They don't show that at all. They just show Rooster going to the house, and then it flashes to 25 years in the future when she's in her 40s and one of her arms is gone, and then she gets a note from Rooster to meet him. He's part of this like show group, and it ends up he dies. He died 3 days earlier, and she buries him. She moves him from the burial they put him in that she didn't think was as good to her family plot of land where her family was, and I think she'll end up being next to him or whatever. She puts him in a spot, I guess that's gonna be next to her, whatever. And that's the movie, both the original and the remake. I have to say, if I had to pick one I liked better, I'd have to say the original. I liked the Maddie better in the new one than the old one, the younger Maddie. But I didn't like that they had her arm amputated in the future. I just didn't. I was like, huh, that's really odd. Different. Both were incredible movies, though, I've gotta say. If you haven't seen both of them, see them. But first, see the original. Before them, I would read the book, then see the original, and then the new one. That's what I would do. At least that's my personal opinion. You don't have to, obviously. Is there anything else I can think of? Oh, who do I think was the better Rooster? John Wayne or Jeff Bridges? I have to say it's almost a tie. Not a tie, but it's pretty close. But I have to say John Wayne was obviously better. I liked him better, honestly. There's just something about him in the role. It was just good. It was unique. Jeff Bridges was good too. Like, he was pretty good. They were pretty close in my book, and from what I saw. My voice didn't echo because I'm drinking my water. Is there anything else I can think of in this review? I think that's about it, really. Unless I can think of anything else. Let me fix my mic. I'm so tired of this thing falling. Anyway, this is Kevin Triforce, and I'm signing off, and I will see you in my next video. See you guys later. I forgot to mention in the remake, the Coen brothers actually directed the remake, and they did a pretty good job, I have to say. Anything else I want to mention at this point? Just to make sure. I guess I could add some trivia in there with the Maddie the little girl that played Maddie, well, for whatever, the teenage girl that played Maddie was actually, there was open auditions for the Maddie role in True Grit for True Grit. I don't know where, but I thought Texas maybe, but anyway. So they opened auditions, obviously, so they were looking for one, and I think there were like over thousands, was it 13,000? I don't know, it was thousands of audition people, and people that auditioned, and she got picked out of all of them. They said they had to make sure everything worked out with her, or else there wouldn't have been a movie. But obviously they would have found a replacement if they needed to. But very good movie. Good job, Coen Brothers, in making a great remake for the first time, and I don't know when there ever was a good remake since this, but good movie. Check it out. Go see it. You really need to. I recommend seeing the original first, unless you want to read the book first, then read the book, then see the original, and then see the new one. But check out both True Grit movies and the book. Really, check these movies out. They are incredible. I'm sorry I said so many times, but really, they are incredible movies. Good job, Ethan and Joel Coen. You guys made a great movie, and go see it. Check it out. See both of them. This is Kevin Triforce, and I'm signing off. I'll see you in my next video. Have a good day.